Hello and welcome to
Hey, we like your pod and we missed you last week.
We did, and we're going to tell you why. We're going to tell you why we liked your pod and why we missed you last week.
All the things. We're talking about all of them. We have time to kill to get to number 25. So
That's right. But we have stuff to say. We have our superlatives. Did you bring superlatives this week?
I did.
Okay. All right. So welcome. My name is Dawn, and I'm here as always with my trusted partner, Matt Pickett. How are you doing, Maddie? I did miss you so much last week.
Yeah, I missed you a lot last week, Dawn. I'm doing great. Happy to be here, of course. Yeah, I mean, overall, I can't think of a thing to complain about except for the fact that the Bears got Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze. Really kind of about that.
I know.
That's rough. That's rough. But, I mean, in the end, the Bears have yet to prove that they can be a well-run organization. So, I won't get too worried about it till I see it, I guess. But it is exactly the thing I was hoping wouldn't happen. Now, the Vikings not getting Drake May, I'm very, very happy about that. Very happy. And it's funny that I pay a price to get JJ McCarthy, who's probably very good, but I was worried about Drake May. So obviously everything I'm talking about is because for people listening later, the draft night 1 is happening right now. So our heads are in it. The Raiders about to give their pick. Looks like number 13. Looks like the pick is in. So we'll be kind of probably distracted by that as we're going tonight. But no, Don, I'm happy to be here. Happy to see you. Happy that we have folks showing up to say hey, like our friend Joe. What's up, Joe? And how are you doing?
I'm doing great. And we have Lorenzo and Lilro. I know who this actual name is, and I forgot. Sorry about that. And Joe in the chat. And Jamie will be with us shortly. Don't worry. We didn't bait and switch on you. Yeah. She is coming.
She's coming, promise.
She texted me, and she's just running a little bit late, taking care of something super important. So I told her just to take her time.
Yes, we'll be.
And Matt and I will get us all rolling and started. In fact, we could maybe do our superlatives. Because I know she's not bringing superlatives, so that'll work out. So the Chicago fans are probably really hyped. I haven't looked at Twitter at all. I was too busy with other things.
They are. The ones I know are pretty excited right now. I forget.
Yeah, of course.
Them. Let's make it a rivalry again for once, right?
So. Exactly. Let's make it competitive, and that makes us better. Iron sharpens iron, right?
Love it. Yes.
So, Maddie, how was your week last week? You had a trip with your daughter. I was so excited for you.
So, I was chaperoning. So my older kid is involved with the Cincinnati Public Schools Jazz Academy, which is kind of a unique program in the country in that it takes public school kids from across different schools and brings them together into jazz groups, teaches them how to play jazz, but not just high schoolers, not just some high school honors jazz thing, all the way from literally beginners, first year beginners, 4th grade, all the way through 12th grade. So they have a lot of individual ensembles as a part of this program. And so they took 4 of those ensembles to a great big jazz festival in Idaho at the University of Idaho at Moscow, which is where the Lionel Hampton School of Music is located, and thus the Lionel Hampton annual jazz festival. It was I think the 67th annual, something like that. So it's a it's a well-run machine. It's a juggernaut, keeps going. And
Nice.
This was the second year they had taken bands out to their second year in a row, actually. And Dawn, they were so good. On the Thursday when we were there, the let me see, the elementary and the junior high school combos and soloists played. And as a former band director, I was just overwhelmed with the level of talent I was seeing and hearing, the level of professionalism, the just what those kids were able to do. It was just stunning,
Wow.
And we found out then, because there'd be the competitions during the day, and then at the concert that night, there's always a professional musician for a concert every one of the nights. They would announce the people who won the competitions for the day. So we found out on Thursday night, a week ago, almost exactly right now, in fact, that the junior high combo from this program from Cincinnati Public Schools Jazz Academy won first place. The soloists who won in the junior high division, first and second, were both from Cincinnati Public Schools. The top soloist for the elementary was also from the program. He's actually the pianist in my daughter's combo, and we'd never found out how the high schoolers did, because they did their stuff on Saturday, and we weren't there for Saturday night because we went to Seattle to catch our flight the next day. So going into it, I was like, man, gotta like chaperone a bunch of like middle schoolers. Like, what's this gonna be like? Will it be hard? Turns out it was super easy, because the kids were all like basically honor students.
Yeah.
They coached up really well by the people who run the program to be professional, how to act like you've been somewhere. And it was just delightful. The kids were awesome, getting to know them better. There were a bunch of great, fellow parent chaperones along with, and also the ensemble directors, getting to know them. It was fantastic. It was a lot of travel, because it was we flew to Salt Lake City for a layover, then into Spokane, bussed down over to Moscow, then we're there and stuff, and then we took a bus all the way over from the border to Seattle. Dawn, that was a long bus trip. And
how long was it?
It was supposed to be 4 hours. It was it was supposed to be 5 hours, and it was 6, I think, is what it was. It was ridiculous.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but then we had a night in Seattle, which is fun.
Yeah.
And then flying home. And the weird thing about going from the one end of the country to the other is, like, we realized that our first day of travel was 27 hours long. We did a 27-hour day because of the extra 3 hours, which is weird. It feels weird, and especially because like we rolled into Salt Lake's airport, and it's 8:30 local time, but for us it's lunchtime, and we're all like queuing up at the Burger King trying to eat our lunch.
Oh wow.
But it's 8:30 in the morning there, so it was very disorienting for like a day and a half, just getting used to it. But anyhow, I am babbling like crazy here.
No, I want to hear everything. I wanted to hear everything, and I knew you were busy this week. We haven't had a chance to catch up, so It's been a week for me too. I'm so excited. Now, your daughter, this is her first year playing trombone, or
no, trumpet, and this is
the trumpet daughter.
Third year.
Oh, okay.
But she started a year early, so she's kind of like an extra year ahead, is kind of what it seems like.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was so proud of like the way that she played at the festival. Her combo was really, really good for a bunch of like 5th and 6th graders.
Sure.
I mean, kids that age shouldn't be able to play that tightly together and be able to actually do like competent jazz solos. Like, that's just unheard of. So
wow.
I'm just so proud. I'm just so proud of all of them.
Oh, I love this. I've been dying to hear all about it. Sounds perfect. It sounds absolutely perfect. Did you have a chance to do anything in Seattle?
Only a little bit, especially because we got there an hour late. So we went down to like the riverfront, because we were right by the the waterfront. It's kind of river, it's kind of the ocean, whatever. So we were down by the water for a bit, and just had a nice time, kind of like seeing the water, seeing the sights a little bit, kind of breaking off into small groups to go to restaurants and stuff like that. So that was nice.
You have some good seafood?
I did. Yeah, I did, but my daughter ordered the smoked salmon at the place we went to, and she won. It was, I had a taste of it. I was like, oh my God, this is like what fresh salmon tastes like when it's really nicely prepared. And like, so I had like some like crab cakes and some clam chowder, so kind of much more like generic-y kind of stuff.
East Coast. That's East Coast.
East Coast. Yeah, exactly. I know, right?
Yeah, that's not West Coast.
I know. I was like, this is good, but like, I definitely missed the mark on my order. I should have gotten.
Yeah.
Really good. So.
Oh yeah, the salmon.
It's a good time. It's a good time.
Oh, that's fantastic! Wow. Well, yeah. So things have been. I continue with some spring cleaning here. That's been good. I feel like I'm just swamped, busy. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. Like, I forget as soon as it's done, it's not worth talking about. The only thing exciting in my life was last night when I got bit by a spider, a bad one, a very bad one. I've never been bit by a bad spider before. I've been bit by spiders, but never this kind. Like, we have brown recluse and we have black widows here pretty much everywhere. And I mean, I've never you hardly ever see them because they're elusive. So all I know is I went for a little. My friend asked me to go pick something up at her house. Like she had a delivery and she wasn't home, blah, blah. So I ran over there and there's just a trail that kind of goes because we live right by the ocean. So it's not like we don't have, well, we have sidewalks, but not where I was going anyway. It's just kind of like trails.
Uh-huh.
And they had cut down a lot of the, like, there's a lot of wild chrysanthemums and daisies. It's like just a field of yellow flowers. And this time they just, once they start getting wilty, they just cut them all down. So all I can think of is I must have encountered like a baby spider or something somehow, and it got me in the ankle, or maybe it was in my shoe. I don't know. I never wear socks. So I came home and, hopped in the shower, and it was like, I was just in it's not even what you would expect. I've never had a bite like this. It's like somebody took a hammer and hit me in the ankle.
Oof.
It's a big lump and it's all bleeding under the skin and the swelling, and then so my whole leg was compromised, but it's not today. So I don't think I got like a full bite. I think I just got a little nick or something on the way out, because I don't know what it was, but I immediately took Benadryl and all that stuff, and did all the things, talked to one of my medical friends right away, and my face swelled up. I still have some swelling in my face, but not bad considering.
Yeah.
I know people out here who have really been nailed by like a brown recluse. And, sometimes it's like hospital for 3 months type of thing. It can be really bad. They can eat your flesh. And I was just like, well, I didn't even think I got bit. It was just so weird. It was just so fast. And
that's crazy.
Anyway, so I don't feel too bad considering all that. I'm still taking a lot of antihistamines. So I'm a little out of it. But that's the most exciting thing, probably because it's just the most recent thing, Well,
it's not every day people are bit by that kind of spider and live to tell the tale, Dawn. Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
Well, most people, live because you go to the ER. Like if you're in, like where I am, unless you're out on a trail or something in the wilderness. But I could have gone to the ER if it got worse, if the swelling got worse, or if it continued to go up my leg like that.
Yeah.
I would have had to go to the ER. And technically you're supposed to be on antibiotics, but I seriously don't think I had a real, like a full-on bite. I think I just got a little mini, like a nip.
Little nibble, little love nibble.
Like a little nip.
I love it. Joe contributes in the chat here. If it's not a cat trying to kill her, it's a spider.
I know somebody's
right.
always trying to kill me. My cat likes to go after spiders, bugs, and stuff too. We're a good team. I just posted on Instagram. I think I lost one of my videos, but if she sees a bug, either way, if she sees a bug, she yaps at it. It's like, and then chatter. And then, but if it's on the ceiling where she can't get it, she'll jump up on her high up shelves and she'll look at me and she'll like alert me. So we're a team now. And so I go get the broom or whatever. And we don't have a lot of bugs here, but it's usually like the tiniest little gnat that I can hardly see, but she can see. And she works with me. And I get the broom and I get it down, and she's like looking at me the whole time and looking at the bug and looking at me. And then she follows me. If I do catch it, if I take it to the trash, she follows me and yaps at me the whole way. And it's like a teamwork. She's so funny.
That's beautiful. I love that.
It's great. She's a good little partner. Well, I'm so glad you had your trip. And
didn't lose any kids. Everyone came back.
I know. It's like, don't let them. What'd you think of Moscow, Idaho?
It's just a really, really small town with a beautiful campus, like really
Yeah.
beautiful. A lot of open space and trees and
Hmm.
rolling hills. It's a very beautiful campus. Old buildings. Most of the stuff looks very old in that sort of like charming, campus way that you imagine a college campus would look.
Right.
Like a place like UC has a little bit of that, but like it's mostly like newer looking buildings and a little bit like really ugly brutalist architecture kind of here and there. And
Uh-huh.
people will say like UC has like a beautiful campus. It's fine. This was a beautiful campus.
I've heard that. I've heard
Yeah,
it's just gorgeous.
it
Yeah.
really is. Yeah.
And that it's closer to Washington than it is to actual Idaho. So it's
Yeah,
like
it's
on the,
like right on the border, like
yeah.
literally. Yeah.
Okay.
We actually stayed in a hotel in Washington, so we're just driving back and forth across the border constantly.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, probably because it's hard to find a place to stay there, especially right now.
exactly.
Especially right now with
Well,
all the
especially right
crime.
now. I mean, especially because there was a jazz festival we're talking about, right, Don? Because of the jazz
Yes,
festival, not because of anything else, of course. So,
right. Because of that.
yeah, I
That-
think I told you we were instructed as chaperones to not talk about the true crime
right.
situation there. Like, don't even mention it around the kids. Don't even
Good.
they don't
Good.
know about it.
And it didn't come up.
Nope.
Didn't see anything weird or like
Didn't see
any
anything
sign.
weird. No, not at all. No.
Not weird. I shouldn't say weird, but
Well, I know
signs or
what you mean. Yeah. No, there was nothing to alert anybody to
right.
anything. Yeah. It was like
Great.
It was all cool. It was all cool.
Awesome. I'm glad. Well, okay. So while we wait for Jamie to get on, where are we at the draft now? Have you been
Yeah,
keeping
so
track?
the I have it kind of going on the side here. New Orleans pick was Talise Fuaga, or offensive tackle from Oregon State. Which good pick for them. He's a stud. While we're on, let's just quickly recap here, okay? And just shoot me some reactions you have from any of these, okay?
Okay.
Here's what we
Well,
got, Don. You ready?
I don't.
No. I don't have reactions. I got nothing, Matt.
I was mostly, I know, because I'm just kind of, my brain's a little numb from all the
Oh,
Benadryls.
sure.
But I was mostly, and I was going to pull up the Beast. We talked about that because a lot of the names start sounding alike, but I'm mostly concerned that we have anybody left for offensive tackle when we get to 25.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know, because we do have
If that's what we're going to take, I don't know.
Forg is off the board, and so is Fashanu. But I think, of course, JC Latham is off the board, and Joe Alt. Yeah, so like the really like hard hitting top ones are pretty much mostly off. There's a few still out there. I'm not worried about it yet. I'm not worried about it yet.
What do you think? Originally, I shouldn't say originally, but a while back, I was really thinking we need an edge. I mean, of course, we need an edge. We need edge power. But Katie Sunderman made a post about that today. She retweeted someone. Oops, I just lost my beast. Where'd it go? What do you think about them the Packers taking an edge first? Do you think that could happen?
Well, it could definitely happen. I mean, that's a premium position. It's good to have lots of good guys there, especially with Preston Smith getting old. We're gonna need to replace him pretty soon. I think he's probably around for another, I don't know, year or two, maybe 3 if we're lucky. So yeah, I mean, you need to bulk that up for sure. And the roster's in such a good place that given what the strengths and weaknesses of the draft are, for taking kind of what feels like a little bit of a luxury pick at edge in the first round, I think we're fine.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I trust Brian Gutekunst. He has definitely
I really do
earned my trust. I would say for sure. So if he and his staff take an edge, I'm going to say that's the best possible player they could have taken for the team at this point. So, which is like a really generic thing to like say like, oh, every pick's a good pick for the Packers, but like that is how I feel. I really think they're going to do the right thing for what they need.
Now on OT, I don't remember. Did Joe Alt go right away?
You went really, really early. Yeah.
Okay, so Fashanu is Chicago. Latham went. Fuaga, did he go?
Yeah, so Farga just went to the Saints at number 14.
Oh, he went to Saints. Okay, what about Mims?
So Fashanu, he hasn't gone yet. He probably
okay.
But no, Fashanu went to the Jets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
because the
That's
Bears
the
got the
last one I
Doomsday.
listened to before I came on.
Ah,
Okay,
I
yep.
see, I see.
I wanted to hear that one. Yeah, okay, and then Taylor Guyton is still out there?
Yeah, Guyton is still out there.
Yeah, it's
So,
such a deep that's a deep
yeah,
cruise on.
and they're good, although even down to Guyton, like, they're good. So,
Right, right.
yeah, I mean, I think we could definitely I think I'd be very happy if we took a tackle tonight, and
First,
if it's one of those
okay.
guys, I'd be very happy with that.
Yep.
If if Cooper, Dejan falls to us, I'd be very happy about that. Yeah, I mean, we need O-line depth for sure, but we have been
Mhm.
so good, as a team at drafting people in
Right.
later rounds that have been fantastic.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I think I'm with so much of Packers online fandom and hoping that we do get Cooper DeJean.
Mhm.
So fingers crossed
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
that. Yeah. How are you feeling about that? Who do you hope we get? Who are you hoping
Well,
gets
of
in
course, I like
position?
him. I like him a lot.
Mhm.
I'm just looking at I'm having to refresh my memory about the safeties too, because that's kind of like a lighter class.
Yeah, it really is.
You're
That's me day 2, day 3 stuff for sure. But there's some pretty good ones that just wouldn't be. It'd be reaching for them in the first round, I think.
right. You don't think
Yeah.
anyone will fall to
Um.
us?
I mean, for safeties, I think just looking at them tomorrow is the thing.
Okay,
Yeah. Taking them
gotcha.
today, I think would be like it'd be
That would be a
taking them
reach.
too high. Yeah, that'd be reach.
Okay,
That is what I'm
gotcha.
saying. Yes.
I hear it. I hear you. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Because we're gonna get what number? What was the Saints? What number is the Saints?
Well, so the Colts just picked Leatu Latu at number 15. That's what.
Okay, so
And
there's
so
10 more.
Seattle's doesn't. I don't know if
Mhm.
Seattle's pick is in necessarily yet. So.
Okay, so 10 more to the pack. Iowa Joe says, with all the offense already off the board, the Packers will have their choice of defensive players.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
All right. Well, let's jump on over to our superlatives while we wait
Yeah.
for the Packers and for Jamie to come on board. So, what did you bring? How about we go back and forth? We do a little volleying. By the
Yeah. I
way,
love it.
volleying. By the way, volleying. Just so you know, the Mojo won their last match, and I don't know if you know this, but they were in last place. They
Oh.
are now going to be in the playoffs. They're in the top 4.
Oh
So they've
wow.
taken, it's been really
Nice.
exciting watching the Mojos do that. So just thought I'd throw that in there because and then of course watching a little bit of the Bucks playoffs now started with the NBA. So I've been busy watching lots of sports lately.
Love it. That's awesome.
All right. So what do you have first for?
Sure. Yeah, I'll go first. There's going to be sort of a thread with these that will be fairly obvious.
Okay.
Um, but my first one then is best news. So recently, the terrible news was that the Acme Packing Company podcast feed was being killed because the company that it's a part of SB Nation decided to basically cut all the podcasts across all of its sites, which is terrible because that's reporting is eligible. It's the Unpacked podcast. It's
Right.
everything that Justice Mosqueda and Tex Western do. It's
Yeah.
a couple of them I'm just blanking on right now, but a bunch of my favorite podcasts just all of a sudden, boop, gone.
Oh.
So that was
Yeah.
really sad. But then it was announced
Mhm.
within the last week that they are starting up on a new channel called Frozen Tundra Frequencies. So it sounds
Mhm.
like we'll be able to catch all of our favorite podcasts from those guys there still. So really, really happy about that. That is amazing news. And looking for a quick comment here from my friend Brendan McGrath in the chat saying best subterfuge so far. Want to look for clarification? Brendan, what you talking about there, man? Let us know in the chat. So yeah, just I'm super excited about them resurrecting their podcast feed because like I said, that's some of the best stuff out there. So best news of the week, Don. That's what I got for my first one.
Yeah. Best save. It was a
Save. Yeah,
save.
seriously.
Yeah. That was good news. That was good news. Well, also good news. Most timely, I guess, to be cute. Packers Unscripted. Mike and Wes are back.
Yay.
Yeah, they were
I was happy to see
technically
that.
back. Yeah, last week.
Mhm.
But we weren't on last week, so
Exactly.
yay! And that's been fun and delightful, and
Mhm.
they are true to form. And so the Packers content is, of course, been really fun this week. So
Yeah, it's been a
Most
good week.
timely. Yay.
That's a good one. All right, should it be next one then?
Yeah.
All right, my next one was a video that I saw, and it was friend of the show, Jr. Radcliffe, doing a video for Packers News, and the video was the Packers have 3 compensatory picks in the 2024 NFL Draft. Here's how they're awarded. I never knew what the formula was for who
Uh-huh.
gets what compensatory picks. I've always kind of wondered it. It was just seemed like magic, and they, like when they're electing the Pope or whatever, and there's like the white smoke and then like the black smoke or whatever it is. It felt
You
like
ready?
just like, oh, like what? How do they determine these things? But there's a whole formula that Jr. like laid out, and it's complicated. I'm pretty sure I followed him. I think if I had to be the person in charge of doing the calculations for the future, I think I could follow along and do it. But it was remarkably complex and interesting, and so to finally learn how that works, explained really clearly and concisely by our friend JR, and plus it's like a video of him just kind of like in front of a green screen, which is weird. This in front of a green screen, so it's like, oh, this people could easily do stuff to mess around with this, and
Yeah.
in fact Matub did. He made
Did.
a I won't ruin it. I'll just say you gotta go find the the video out there, and then look in the comments on Twitter. At least that's where Tub posted it. It's very funny. It's short, but it's very funny. So yeah, just learning about how comp picks work was amazing, and from JR. So thanks for that, JR.
Thanks for that, JR. Can you explain it or no? No.
I could try. So I mean, y'all should go watch the video, of course. But basically,
Right.
when you lose a player in free agency,
Right.
you are eligible for a comp pick, which is like extra picks at the end of the rounds, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So if you lose more players in free agency than you pick up, that's, the difference is how many you might be eligible for, up to a maximum of, I want to say 4, but it might be 3 or 4, whatever it is. And so what they do then, they like put the players like basically in line from like most paid per year salary to like least paid, just kind of like 1 through 800, whatever it is. And then that's the first step. So each get like the number of points that they're the step they're at, so like the lowest paid one is like just 1 point, right? And there are things that adjust it based on playing time, based on position, based on some other stuff. And so once those points are figured out on that scale, they then reshuffle back into like, again, top to bottom. And if you had a free agent you lost and you're eligible for a pick because you lost more than you gained in free agency, if that person is in like the top 5%, you get a 3rd round pick. If it's like the top, I'm not quite sure exactly what it was. I have to see it again, but like it's like 6 to 15, you're eligible for a 4th round pick. Something like 16 to 25, it's a 5th round pick, and like kind of on that sort of like intervals, right, to get down till you have the 7th round picks. Then after that, if it's like the bottom half or so of the people in that order, then they're not eligible for you to get a comp pick for them leaving your team. Woof. I think I missed a lot of important details there,
But
basically
that's
basically it. Yeah, it's like
yes.
each player has a certain number of points based on stuff, and
Right.
then if they're in a certain percentile, you could be eligible for a comp pick.
That makes sense. I know I had it in my draft spreadsheet. Like, let me just look here.
Oh, and there's another thing too. There's only a certain number of comp picks that are divvied out. So if you like are eligible for like a 4th one, but that person is like the 80 would be like the 89th of the 88 they give out, or whatever the number is, then like you just don't get it.
Then you're cut off.
Yeah, exactly. It's only the
certain
top
number.
80. I think it's 88, but I might be making that number up. Might be a lot less.
That's okay.
Whatever.
No,
It was like 30.
I would never know.
Let's say 88, because that seems like way too many. I don't think it's nearly that many. That seems wrong to me, but I don't remember. So anyhow, watch the video from JR. It's amazing.
For sure. I'm going to. Okay, so this year for the Green Bay Packers, there are 3 comp picks. One was for Lazard, one was for Reed, and one was for Lowry.
Mm-hmm. And we would have gotten one for Tunyon, except that he was the like that 89th or 88 or whatever. He was the one just one past the cutoff.
I'm still sad he's gone. I liked him.
I know. I know.
Okay. I like that very much. Interesting. By the way, on my Yay, Mike and Wes are back. I was listening. Mike asked Wes how many, like he asked him some questions, like
Mhm.
just to guess how the numbers would turn out this week with the draft. And somehow or another, okay, I got confused, and it might because Mike Wes has that sense of humor, that quirky
Mhm.
sense of humor. So he said we won't trade. The Packers will not trade down, but they'll get 11, 12. They'll pick 12 picks. So maybe he was just messing around because obviously the Packers have 11.
Right.
So you couldn't get 12 without trading down. I don't think. I don't know what you would do to
Yes,
get an extra pick.
that has to be the case, right? Yeah.
It had to be goofing around.
That
Anyway.
has to be, yeah.
But Mike, no, it was, yeah. I didn't know if you heard that because please explain that one to me. Okay. And then Joe says, as far as the compensatory picks, it's based off money value and the length of free agent contracts. They lose minus contracts brought in.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's part of it. Yep. And it's more complex than that. Yeah.
Cool.
Hmm.
All right. Number 2 for me, I've got 2. Okay. And because it's draft night, first night of the draft week, whatever you want to call it. It's the beginning of the preseason, right? Somebody said that. So
I
I'm
think
like,
people think of
okay.
the preseason as being, the actual games are happening, I think, in most cases. But
Oh, preseason games. But no, I mean, because they're practicing already and all that's going on. Okay, so anywho,
that's true. Off-season
yeah,
programming is happening. Maybe that's
off season.
yeah.
So because of that, I
Mhm.
think it's appropriate for me at least, and I can only speak for myself, to start thinking about the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So
Sure. Never a bad time for that.
let's just jump right in there. So now this is a superlative I've kind of had in the uh, brewing on the back there. It's called
Mhm.
super secure. This
Okay.
is a super superlative, and it was a really cool. Let me just click on it. Really cool. Okay, it was a really cool video. I had to remember what it was, and guess where I found it? I found it on the FBI website.
What?
Yes,
Where are you
FBI
going with this?
GOV securing the Super Bowl.
Mm.
So it's a really cool video, and you can find, and the FBI actually has a YouTube channel because everybody does. So,
Mhm.
and so the title of this video is Securing the Super Bowl, and it takes you behind the scenes, everything that was done and how they coordinate with everyone, including, it was done in Las Vegas this last year, the local authorities, as well as the NFL officials and that kind of thing, to make sure that the Super Bowl is secure, safe, and they don't have any
Which is good. Yeah, I mean,
any events. And so far that's been the case. So, and there, with all the show and all the noise and all the stuff, a lot of things could go wrong, right?
mhm.
And so I found this really fun video, and it just makes me really appreciate some of the behind the scenes stuff that goes on, not just behind the Super Bowl, but all the games, to make sure people
Yeah.
have a
You
good
don't,
experience.
you
Yeah.
don't think about that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
superlative number 2, super secure.
Super secure. I love that. So, a thing that just happened here while we were kind of chatting through some stuff I just saw is that the Vikings traded up 6 spots so they could get Dallas Turner, the edge rusher from Alabama.
Oh,
And
oh,
this is crazy though. They were at 6 spots, right? They traded the Jaguars. What they had to give up, in addition to the pick swap, of course, was a 2024 fifth rounder, a 2025 third rounder, and a 2025 fourth rounder. That's a lot of draft capital for 6 spots. I mean, I'm not trying to say I hope the Vikings, get the most of that, but I hope it was worth it, guys. That's giving up 3 more players basically.
and is that guy going to be able to play immediately?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, he must be if they give
I would
him that.
imagine they're going that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the guy was a lot of people projected him to be a top 10 pick, so it's a pretty good deal, maybe. we'll see. You know,
Yeah, right,
we
right,
didn't know
right.
until a couple years in, of course, but it's
They
just
do.
interesting.
Yeah, the Vikings do value that position a
Yes,
lot.
that is fair to say.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, and I don't love that.
Yeah, I know our rivals picking up good players before we're even on the board. Don't love that.
Well, not just that, but specifically to knock down our quarterback.
Ah, yes, good point. Good point.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, you do that, Vikings.
Exactly. All right, should I do my last
So
superlative
far,
then, Dawn?
okay. So far, the Vikings have had 2 in the first round, and the Bears have had 2 in the first round.
Yep, and the Vikings had to give up a lot of draft capital to move because
Mhm.
they moved twice, right? Yeah,
Right.
so they're just burning off their other picks left and
Yeah.
right. Go
Mm.
ahead, guys, go for
They must have a lot of confidence in being able to like get these
it.
people on the field and
Yeah,
like go the first year. I
I would
mean,
say so.
this coming season. So we shall see. We shall see. Okay, Maddie. So what's your next one?
Yeah, so my third and final superlative
Mhm.
is best draft content. You know, of course, I've been doing this every week
Mhm.
for a couple months now. It feels like so.
Mhm.
The final installment of best draft content for the week goes to our friend Paul Noonan. He wrote an amazing article. It's a perfect way to cap off the draft content. The article is "You are very bad at draft analysis." It is so good. It goes through like it's it's long and hilarious and insightful. And at first you're thinking like he's just like throwing shots at everybody, just taking shots and you know, man, Paul. But then he takes then he's very self-deprecating in the section about like the kind of draft analyst that he happens to be. So he gives it out, but he also you know takes it in a way as well. But it's a you know Paul's hilarious and really smart. So the article was as well. But he said, but sorry, he basically sort of said, you know, at this time of year, um, the people who get really into the draft fall into like one of these 4 or 5 or 6 different like categories. You know, there's like the people who are like the film grinders, people who are like the statistics guys like himself, and so on and so on. And the way he describes each of them is just you know like cutting, insightful, hilarious, a little mean in a funny way, you know,
I
but
like it.
it's really good. So it's maybe my favorite thing he's ever done. I'm trying to think of
Wow.
Holden has
I
done some
love
really good
that.
stuff. I mean, like there was that kind of like choose your own adventure thing with Aaron Rodgers a couple like a year or two ago, which was amazing. And he's done some songs that were really funny and stuff like that too. But this was especially good. I really enjoyed it. So definitely worth a read,
That
especially
sounds
today
fun.
as we see like what
Yeah,
actually happens in the
especially
draft.
today.
In fact,
No, I like that. I
because I'd
like
read it earlier in
that.
the week and I waited until today to quote tweet it. Sort of like one last thing, guys, before we watch the draft. Go back and reread
Yeah,
it.
for
It's so
fun.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
So you have a third one?
My third and final, and Jamie is logging in as we speak.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, most female inspo goes to Amy Trask. And this also goes with my fraternizing with the enemy
Mhm.
category. And she's at Amy Trask on Twitter. And she's a analyst currently for CBS Sports.
Mhm.
She's an author of You Negotiate Like a Girl. She does a podcast, What the Football, and that's with the Rich Eisen, his
Like
network.
network or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And she is also the former CEO of the Raiders.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So
It's
last
like
but not
I know the
least,
name from somewhere, and that's actually where I know it from. Yeah.
she is so fun to follow on Twitter and just delightful. And I just think she's a great follow, and she's inspirational for particular. She's just for everybody, but for
Mhm.
females for sure. I mean, there aren't too many executives in the NFL that are female. It's quite the accomplishment.
It's true.
She has great stories. I mean, just really fun little nuggets that she drops all the time. So yeah, that's most female inspo goes to Amy Trask,
Nice.
even though she's a Raiders fan.
I just went ahead and followed her. I know I've seen her post before because like her profile picture. I know I've seen that, like you know, retweeted or whatever else. So yeah, Gonna be
I
checking
think
her stuff.
speaking of Super Bowls, I think she was on a little segment. I don't know if it was halftime or before the Super Bowl started this year.
Mhm.
And it was really good.
Nice.
And with that final superlative, now
Good
we have
timing.
our Jamie.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. Jamie,
Yay!
perfect timing.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
We
How are
can
you,
hear
friend? I'm so
you.
happy to see you. Oh my
Hi.
goodness.
Hi, Matt. I talk to
Huggy,
John
hug,
all the
hug.
time, but I don't talk to you. How are you?
Well, this is good
Oh,
timing, Jamie. We just wrapped up our superlatives, just got that all taken care of, and we already
Oh, great.
chatted through our weeks and stuff. So this was amazing timing. Yeah, how have you been? Tell us all about like what you've been up to. I mean, Dawn knows, but like nobody else does. So let the people know. How have you been?
Oh, geez. I've been good. I've been good. Just working, living life with my cat. Just me
Hmm.
and my cat.
the
Uh,
cat.
yeah, that's pretty much my life. I go to work. I come home, hang out with my cat. I go to church.
Hmm.
I'm applying to college, so I'm going back to school.
Ooh.
So wish me luck. I get accepted into the program that I applied for. So that's kind of the biggest news recently is I'm going back to school. So
Hmm.
hopefully, that gets all sorted out. Yeah.
Did you get your application in?
Yeah, everything's in. I'm just waiting for them to tell me I get accepted.
Yay.
Very
Working on
exciting.
it the other day. I was like, why haven't you answered my text for a week?
It's because I read the wrong prompt for my personal statement and had to rewrite my personal statement. So I was like freaking out that night trying to rewrite it.
Oh,
Get
okay.
everything in and I had to rewrite my personal statement. Yeah.
Oof.
Good. Well, you got it done. Yay.
Yeah.
So, how are you feeling about the draft so far? You probably haven't even been following it.
I'm like super blind into it. It's the first time, and I purposely did it. It's I kept wanting to like check stuff out, but I'm like, no, 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 no. I want to be like completely surprised. I
Oh.
just want to see what we get.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I'm not married to anybody. I'm not in love with anyone that I
Hmm.
like a draft prospect that they're probably not gonna get. So I'm just like surprise me Packers, and then I'll do the studying. Then I'll fall in love with the guys. As we already have them, so I have
Right.
no choice.
I like it. I like it.
They're already with us, so that's my
I
strategy this year. What about you
love it.
guys?
Well, I'll go. I'll say that the Bengals just got a Marius Mims. A little bummed about
Oh,
that because I was hoping it
okay.
was one of those guys I was really excited about.
Yeah, me too.
But it's the Bengals. My adopted home of Cincinnati here, from which I'm broadcasting. So I'm really excited for all my family members who are Bengals fans. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's so Jamie, you're actually asking like how have I been, or what do I think of the draft so far? Because I was getting the draft stuff right away.
Both.
Both. Oh, let's go both. So yeah, no, I mean, I think things are falling pretty nicely for the Packers so far because there's a lot of good guys who like are coming down the board because it's just so heavy on offense on guys that we probably weren't gonna ever go for early on. So it's coming out pretty nicely. Brendan's asking here in the chat. He said, "Does Matt have paper in his pocket this year? Last year I had the what's his name? JSN or bust, right? Jackson Smith and Jigba. This year, there's a number of guys I'm going to be totally happy with the Packers taking that should be roughly within our range. So feeling good about it so far. Definitely.
And the goat is here.
That's
You
right.
know who this is, right,
Yes,
Jamie?
I know exactly who that is. Hello, Ron.
Hi,
Oh, geez.
Ron. I thought it was Ron, but I when I saw his, I haven't seen you lately, Ron. Where you been? I saw his handle earlier, and I was like, I think I know who this is, but I can't. I don't want to say. I didn't want to say the wrong person. Be rude.
So I got the draft tracker on here, so I am keeping up live.
Hmm.
And you know what? I always want a lineman.
Hmm.
Every draft, I want a lineman. So I'll be
Right, right,
happy if we
right.
get one or two. So I'll see. I know that we want to build our offense. I feel like that's a running back, maybe some what is it called? Some extra backups there. I don't know, honestly, because I kind of like the guys we have. What I want is like a monster defense. I want a
Yes.
suffocating defense.
Yes.
Because I mean, our offense did okay, honestly. Like we got by, we
Right.
survived. We survived farther than we ever thought we would. But I really would like to see a lot more aggressiveness. But we've got that new guy. What's his name? The young guy
Halfley,
from the
the
mhm.
coach. Yeah.
So he
I'm really
seems to
excited.
be more of an aggressive coach. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that will develop.
Yes.
For
There's
sure.
so much talent in the defense that feels like it's just been kind of not brought to its potential. So hopefully with a new coach, that's just gonna be like a boost from that alone. I'm really, really excited about that.
Oh, and Ron came out of retirement to see Jamie. Well, we're glad to have you,
Love
Ron.
that.
It's so good to see you. So, Jamie, so far the Vikings and the Bears have both had 2 first-round picks. So
Wow,
there's
something
that.
sucked. Just kidding.
And now the Vikings, I just saw this, only have 3 picks in the 2025 draft because they've like sold so many of them off.
They
put 3
gambled
picks in this
everything
year.
to this year, which is kind of
Yeah.
weird,
It
right?
is weird. Yeah. So all they have
It
for
is
next
kind
year
of
is
weird.
a first round and 2 fifths in 2025. That is super strange.
Wow. What did they
You
get?
know,
What did they pick up? I can't see. Oh,
before you
know?
answer that, you know what I'm thinking? I think this is like their last year. They're going to be like, what's the name of their coach? O'Connell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think he's on the
On the
hot
hot seat?
seat.
You think so?
I think he's on the hot seat,
Mm.
and he's like, they have to go. They want to make a run this year. I don't
Could be.
know.
Yeah.
What quarterback? Like, I mean, it's possible, but anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
But I think if they don't do well with this, putting all this in their basket, they're going to do like a cleaning house next year. That's the season, I think. That's what I see
Yeah.
for the Vikings. I could be
Could
wrong.
be. And as both Ron and Matt Schneidman pointed out, we're at 20, and the top 3 cornerbacks are still on the board. So this is really unexpected,
See?
actually. Really unexpected.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we
This
could
could
use
be
some
good. This
more.
could be good. We
Mhm.
don't know.
Oh, and the
What is-
Rams at 19. The Rams moved up. I see. The Rams moved up to 19. They got Jared Verse. That's a great get. So yeah, still 5 picks before us with 3 really good cornerbacks out there. Woohoo!
Right. And Brendan says they don't have many picks in 2025, but they get Herschel.
They get Herschel. And Joe mentions here, they probably will have more of a clock, he thinks, until people are getting fired because they just got a new quarterback. That's a good point. But they're probably very nervous to make it work because people will be losing jobs after too long if they don't. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
True.
watching the broadcast of the draft is so funny because it's like all the information comes out way before Roger Goodell gets to the podium. It's like I'm seeing it already on Twitter and everywhere else. That's like, no, yeah, the Rams took Jared Verse. Like we knew that a minute and a half ago, and now Roger Goodell's just just barely kind of like hobbling up to the podium and officially announcing it. And like, here's Jared Verse at his his party
And then all the runway walks,
Yep.
with the fashion
Yeah.
Academy Awards walks to the podium for the first. I wish they would do that for the whole draft. I mean, a little quicker,
A lot
it would
quicker,
take like
seriously.
a month, but I don't know. Couldn't they just do like a fashion couple photos and then, yeah. What do they call that? What they have now at all the major awards show, that guy with the long curly hair and he has all the stars just do something and then it goes in like super ultra slow motion and it comes up with these little glamour clips. They're like a couple seconds, but they're really epic. They should just do that because it's just a couple seconds instead of this long wait.
So Jamie's nodding her head like she knows what you're talking about. I myself do not. But
You know what I'm talking about? What's it called? I forget what it's called.
I don't know what it's called, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
those
fantastic.
people look iconic.
It's
really
fantastic
cool.
what they come up with. Yes. The NFL, if you're listening, that would really help.
So cool.
Yeah. Just do that.
Do that.
3 seconds. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Done.
Well, I get that like the first night they really want to, drag out the drama and stuff like that. But it is just like, well, no, it's just dragging. Actually, like you guys.
Well, this would make it this would even bring up the glamour more, but it would bring the time down. So it's like a win-win.
I like that efficiency.
That's
yeah,
true.
that's
yeah.
a win-win.
Mm-hmm. That's what they
Um,
pay me for.
there you go. Right. So I
Wait,
do
Tom
love
Grossi is
the
supposed to present, right?
What?
Is that
you know what?
happening? Tom Grossi, is he presenting
No, he was presenting at the honors.
at the honors, but not the draft? Because that'll be cool. That would be
But
cool.
he did announce tonight though his new project is going to be going to the international stadiums in
Okay.
was like 5 stadiums in 10 days. So like
Oh
Yeah,
man.
major
2020.
travel across countries, not just across state borders. Like that
Well,
is
he'll just
insane.
stay over there, right?
Well, I don't know where are the stadiums located. I don't know off the top of my head. But it's just I think he said
Oh,
5.
Well, most of them are
I'm
in
looking
Europe,
forward to
so
that. Yeah.
you wouldn't go back and forth.
Yeah, I mean
I
there's
would just stay
Germany
there.
and England and Brazil and Mexico
Mhm.
City, right?
Mexico City. Mhm.
Oh,
And the 5th one, Canada?
Germany?
Germany,
No.
Germany,
I
London.
said
Okay,
Germany, yeah. Germany,
Frankfurt, London.
England, yeah, Brazil, Mexico
Okay.
City, and maybe Canada. I don't know.
It's another European city, isn't there?
Keep talking. I'll look it up.
Yeah, I guess it would depend on the timing, but it used to just be Europe until this
Mhm.
year.
Right.
Joe, are there 2 stadiums in London? Probably. There are 2 airports. Heathrow, Gatwick.
This is good podcasting.
I know we're just we're losing time. Okay. So, Jamie, my 3 superlatives were Mike and West are back with Packers Unscripted. So it's officially preseason. Matt doesn't agree, but I think it is. I shared a video. I called this superlative super secure. The video is called Securing the Super Bowl, and it was put out by the FBI about everything that's involved in making the Super Bowl secure for fans. It's a really cool video.
Mhm.
It's on YouTube. And then for the third one, it was most female inspo, and it went to Amy Trask. She's the former CEO for the Raiders. She's a really fun Twitter follow.
Mhm.
Those are my superlatives. And Matt had some news about a new channel called Frozen Tundra Frequencies that's taking over some podcasts that were sort of canceled this week and then revived
Just
with
kinda
this
axed,
new channel. Yeah. And then J.R. Radcliffe, who explained how compensatory picks work, and it's very complicated. You don't want to know.
It is amazing.
Something super fun by Paul Noonan, which was a kind of a tongue-in-cheek. You are very bad at draft analysis, and he kind of took apart everybody's draft analysis in a fun way. Yeah, it sounds fun. Yeah. So that's what you missed, Maddie.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you come up with?
I can't find the 5th one. I don't. Still working on.
Oh my gosh!
We'll just have to watch Tom's video later that he posted with the announcement.
Okay, because
see
Joe
what it is
might
to
be
choose
right
from
that
there.
there's two different stadiums in London, which makes
Might be.
sense because of the soccer.
Well, they have they have done games at Tottenham Hotspur and at Wembley, so maybe that's what it is. That could be it.
Right. So London. Are you still watching soccer these days, Jamie? Or is that falling up?
I'm not really. I'm not
Not
really
really.
keeping up with like literally any sports. Even last year, I barely kept up with the Dodgers, and I like when the season started, I started following back the Packers. I mean, I watched like Tom Grossi and Basarowski.
Yeah.
I said his name right. That's usually my go-to people that I watch. I watch a lot of shorts, and also my friends just always send me. I'm always in the know, kind of still, because people would send me links from Twitter. My friend Timmy and Ron will send me links, or you will send me links. So I'm not like too uninformed. So they came in clutch last year, because even if I wasn't like really spending time, I wasn't too out of the loop.
Yeah.
And then once the season started, I was like ready to go. I was so excited.
Exactly. Well, I got Amy, for those of you listening. No, I mentioned the Mojo professional volleyball, women's volleyball league that just started this year. So I had Jamie started going on that a little bit, but I don't know if you know this, but they were last. They are now going to be in the playoffs. They're in the top 4.
Good for them. I
They
know.
just had a big win. Yeah.
It was very exciting. I have not been able to tune in again ever since that, but it was very exciting to watch, actually.
It is so exciting.
Yeah. I was getting into it.
Oh, I know. We were texting the whole time.
It was pretty close. It was pretty close.
It's
I was like,
yeah,
oh
it's
God,
I mean, all teams are really close, and it's so fast. Like it's just
they score so fast too. Like it's just whoa.
Yeah, it's rare that there's a more than a 3-point differential. Like if somebody's ahead by 3 points, the announcers are like, "Oh yeah, they're they're really behind." It's huge, but yeah. And of course, the Bucks are in the playoffs now, Jamie.
Oh, the basketball, right? Yes, good for them. Good for them.
Giannis,
the Lakers were doing okay, and then I don't know. I don't really keep up with basketball.
Yeah, Giannis is hurt. The Lakers lost their first 2 in the playoffs, which is we'll see what happens with them. So. Yeah. Okay. What's next, Maddie? What do we have?
Well, yeah, Detroit just have their pick is in. They're taking Trey Fatanu, another one of the big OTs. So something off the board. That means still the 3 top corners are still in play at this point.
Wow.
And still some good tackles too. Tyler Guyton's still out there, for example. So.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens here. So I'm pretty excited because we're getting closer.
Decisions. Matt Gutekunst said, really, draft night, they kind of know what they're doing. It's not like a lot of chaos or
right. They got their boards. They're communicating with other teams, and
so they probably already kind of know. Like, what number was Detroit? 23? 20. Okay, so 5 more. So they must have a pretty good handle on what they're going to do.
I would think so.
At this point, because there's 5 left. Yeah.
I would think so.
So.
The Dolphins are on the clock, right?
The Dolphins are on the clock. That's correct.
Okay, cool. Okay, it's almost our turn.
It's coming soon. So excited.
What does Tua need?
Head medicine.
It says,
oh my gosh.
Poor guy.
Sorry, what'd you say?
They said their top needs are O-line, defensive line, and tight end.
There you go, Jamie, bringing it.
Nice. All right, Jamie.
NFL draft tracker.
There you go. I know. I'm not looking at anything. I am just useless. Jamie, guess what happened to Glamma last night?
What happened?
I got bit by a bad spider.
Oh, that's terrible.
Like a bad spider.
Did you go to the doctor?
I didn't. I immediately took a bunch of Benadryl, as much as a person can handle, and elevated and called an RN friend that I have. I have doctor friends too, if I had to. It's like, I don't want to go. I was so tired. I don't want to go to the ER. And I'm watching it. I think it was like a nick, not a full-on bite, but it was either a brown lacrosse or a black widow, because I looked it up. We looked it up, and I verified with her that it's only venomous spiders that will give you, because what it was is it was like I got hit with a hammer in my ankle. So it's like a bruise and swelling. And which obviously didn't happen, or I think I would have remembered. And in a lump, right? And so evidently it's only venomous spiders that'll leave a bruise like that, because you start bleeding. You start bleeding under your skin, and so like there's all this blood pooling under my skin, and it's swelling. I can't move my leg, but it didn't spread at all.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember like you have to like draw a circle around it. If it gets like bigger than these, like you gotta go to the urgent care.
Right. I took a picture immediately. I took a picture and I've been comparing it. Oh, yep. And I had her look at the picture and I
Yeah,
know
I'm
it was
glad you
fun.
have an RN friend. That's always helpful.
Yeah, I didn't want to go in. They put you on antibiotics for those usually, and I was
Yep.
like,
Mm-hmm.
mhm. So like serious
Oh,
antibiotics. So Ron says he's at the Steelers picking. Are you guys ahead of me? Are we ahead
Was
of
that-
Ron?
Well, that was 3 minutes ago when Ron posted that. So I
Oh,
think
sorry, Ron.
Oh.
maybe only slightly.
Well, but
Because I
that's why I
mean,
was confused because you said Detroit, but I was seeing Steelers at 20. Did they trade?
they may have. I'm not totally sure. I'm not totally sure. Let's see.
Huh. I doubt it. Would they have traded for that? I mean, there's 3 good corners.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Let me see.
So Caleb
Kind of
Williams
looking
is
through
the new
like.
future of the Bears.
Sorry?
Caleb Williams is the new future of the Bears.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got him and stud wide
He's gonna
receiver.
be the one. He's the one.
He's the one. That's
He's
what they
the
say every
one.
time. Ha ha ha. He might
Aw.
actually be though.
Aw, poor Bears. No.
I know, right? No.
Mm.
That's our little brother.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Wait, so what ended up happening with what's his face? Fields.
I think he went to Atlanta, right?
Atlanta.
Did he go to the Falcons? Fields?
Fields.
Oh, Fields is with the Steelers.
Oh, he ended up at Steelers.
Yeah, with
Are we
Russell
on the
Wilson.
okay, we're on the clock is the Eagles.
Mm-hmm. Did we?
All right, so what's the pick going to be from the Dolphins? I don't think it's been.
Yeah, I just pick his end.
It's in, but not announced. We'll see.
It's almost time.
So we're waiting, Jamie. I've missed you a ton. Packers Twitter has missed you a ton. Every time your name comes up, people are like, "Oh, Jamie, we
People
missed
haven't
you."
forgotten about me. I was like, they probably forgot about me already.
Nope, false. Because I posted Facebook started the show today. Like, oh, you guys today, Jamie's gonna be joining us, and I got like a bunch of likes really fast and like reposts and stuff like that. People are like, oh, Jamie. So, no, you are not forgotten at all. So having taken some time away from it, do you think you'll come back, or are you just that's still up in the air? Do you miss it? Are you glad to be away from the craziness? Like, just what are your thoughts on that? I'm really curious.
Yeah. It seems like it's a permanent thing for me, for sure. Especially with everything that's been going on. Like, I'm gonna start school soon. I can't afford any more distractions. I can't imagine I would be as productive and focused as I am now on different things. I'm so busy doing different things. I'm like involved in the church. I'm doing music with my church band, and then I'm at work, and then I'm doing the mariachi program. I'm always doing something. Actually, I can't just be alone doing nothing. I'm always having to do something. And I'm learning piano. I'm teaching myself piano and trying to get better at my piano.
That's cool.
Also bass. I'm practicing my bass. So I'm always like doing something. So now it's school. So I gotta like get rid of some of the things so I can just focus in on school. Work is getting a little stressful, and it really motivated me to like take that step. Like, okay, enough is enough. I need to go back to school because I keep like feeling I need to stay in a place where it's not really good for you because I feel like I can't do any better because I don't have a degree. So I don't want to feel like that anymore. I was like, it's time for me to go back to school. ADHD is not an excuse. I have 3 years that I've learned coping tools, and I've excelled, and I'm living by myself, and I'm surviving still 2 years in. I'm like, I think I've learned to live with ADHD and like learn to overcome any of the barriers that I encounter. I mean, I still struggle with it on a daily basis, but it's not as detrimental as it used to be, for sure. So I'm pretty happy. My depression, my anxiety is under control. Honestly, like mentally, I'm doing really well. And I don't want to do anything that I don't know. I just don't see myself going back. And what I was gonna say was I'll go back when I have my degree. When I get my master's, I'll maybe go back just to post a picture. We're like, I did it, guys, and then I'll leave again forever. Yeah, but for now, the answer is no. I don't plan to go back.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it's definitely the right pick or the right decision for you.
It was the right decision for me. I mean, I sometimes think about it fondly, and I think about my podcast and everything. My friends, like you guys, I miss you guys so much. But I feel like torn about it, but I feel like it's also the right decision for me.
Yeah, I mean, you
But
gotta
we're still
prioritize your
here. We're
or
still
Yeah,
here.
I still
anytime
like
you
to
wanna stop.
talk to my
Yeah.
friends. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, you
like
gotta put yourself first, you know?
you
It's
can
like
text
when
me if you have my number. Text me. I'm a terrible texter, so just because I don't text you doesn't mean I don't love you. I just suck at texting.
no, I
But
was just
she's
gonna
good.
say
She's good with her glamour. Go ahead.
yes,
Yeah.
that's right. So, yeah, no, just say, like, prioritizing your mental health, I think, is something not enough people do. So, like, I think it's awesome that you are so, like, aware of the fact that you're in a better place for not having the distraction and that, you're thriving, you're flourishing, you're doing
I
awesome.
am. I am. I mean, it's not without stress for sure. It's not all like peaches and
Sure,
cream,
sure.
but I'm okay. I'm not like I'm surviving. I don't know. I thought I could say that. I'm like okay.
And you're a good cat mama. She has her own apartment. She has her own cat, which is a responsibility. Speaking of
Little
cats, mine
cutie.
just woke up. Um, so is LaFleur going to make an appearance tonight?
He's sleeping up atop
He's out.
of the
Okay.
shelf. Yeah, he's up
Okay.
top sleeping. You know what? He's come a long ways too, because he was very skittish at first. Like he'll hide a lot or like run away. He's so comfortable. He doesn't get scared anymore. He lets me pick him up. He would never let
Mm-hmm.
me pick him up. I pick him up all the time. He lets me
Yeah.
touch his stomach. Like his like attitude, his temper has changed completely. Like it's already been a year that we've been together. That my baby, he's my little baby
Yeah.
boy, and he's just really settled in so good, and he's just more confident, and he owns this. This is his territory, this is his kingdom, and I let him
Mhm.
rule. I just live here with him. I pay rent for him.
That's how it is.
I live in his world.
Yeah, he's a hi Tashi. He's a good kitty. I knew he would be that way. I mean, it's normal for a cat, especially with how much he went through,
Yeah.
because because of his traumatic rescue, all that he went through on
Mhm.
the streets, and then getting adopted by somebody that it didn't work out, then getting adopted by me, and then Tosh getting sick, and then having to go back again. He went through a lot of different stages, and but I just knew that he would be fine. I really did. I'm glad that you got to see all that because you stuck it out and
Mhm.
you learned so much in that process
I
about
mean, it was
cats.
stressful in the beginning. Yeah, honestly, again, I would not have been able to do it without you. I did learn a lot that really helped me, and just making sure that he was good. And now I feel like I got it. I'm kind of a cat expert now.
Yeah,
He
well,
has
a lot of people.
insurance. Like this is my son. Okay, he is
He's your
my
son.
son.
He's
He's
your boy.
insured and
He's your boy.
everything.
And your parents love cats now. Her
Oh
parents
my
didn't even
gosh,
like
yes.
cats
My
at
my
first.
family loves him. He's my emotional support animal, but
Mhm.
he's also my family's emotional support animal. I stayed with them for 2 weeks with him at my parents'. It was his first time having a sleepover, my little cat. And he was scared for like a day and a half. He hid. He didn't come out. But then eventually he did come out, and then my parents didn't want us to leave. I mean, they didn't want him to leave. They were fine with me leaving. They were trying to steal my cat. They wanted to steal my cat. And I'm like, I'm not leaving without my son. So yeah, they love him. He's so good for all of us, the whole family. Just he really just brings so much joy.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, he really. You're a good mom, Jamie, and you were such a good student and learned. It was just easy with you.
Can you
So
imagine me on Twitter? Like I would ignore him and just be on Twitter all the time. Because that was like the number one complaint that I had from like my in real life friends, the people that I would see. They were always, you're always on your phone, you're never paying attention to us, and it's
Yeah.
always on Twitter, and that's like I had a really unhealthy relationship with social media. So that's why
mm,
I know for me, like I just have to have those really strong boundaries for certain things.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's so
That
easy to
worked.
get so caught up in it, and just like, yeah, like being on your phone constantly. It's so easy to do if you're not being careful.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, just like recognizing that it was a thing you needed to deal with and dealing with it. Like I don't know. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
growth has been amazing. It's been so rewarding for everybody. Rewarding for you, for the kitty, for your family, for me.
Mhm.
It's been
Yeah,
great.
you couldn't have thought of a better outcome for him when you had to sadly let him go. I know you didn't want to, but it worked out. It worked out.
Worked out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Crazy. Crazy. So Chop Robinson, that's who
Chop Robinson,
Yeah.
Miami got. Yeah, I didn't realize it was
So
Chop.
it's
Okay.
And
what,
the
two,
Eagles
one
pick is in, but
more.
it hasn't been announced yet, I
Mhm.
think.
I
So
know. What is
The
the
Jaguars
deal
on the
with
clock.
that?
it's taking forever.
It has really taken for that one is this is the
Why do
longest.
you think that takes so long? Like, what are they doing?
Who knows?
Negotiating?
It's usually
Celebrating,
not that
and then
long.
yeah,
Yeah.
this one seems
Or
to be
like
really long.
This one's
leveraging?
longer.
Yeah,
Maybe they
Mm.
changed their mind. It is a mistake.
they had to yell at each other for like 8 minutes and then tell Goodell who they're gonna actually take. Well,
They're
he's
just busy with
hobbling
their
up to the
life
podium
stories.
now.
They still
He's gonna announce
Okay.
it. Let's
Okay.
see. Give it a second here.
Okay.
Man, he just had like back surgery or something like 3 weeks ago. So like,
good.
Oh, Goodell did?
yeah. So like,
Wow.
kind of bad timing, unfortunately. But
So
well,
he's literally hobbling.
yeah, I mean, he's he's doing the best he can. He
Jeez.
definitely is. I think it was.
haven't
Oh,
been-
okay. Ron says Kenyon Mitchell.
Oh, Quinion Mitchell, nice.
Mhm.
That's one of the top cornerbacks right there. So
Okay.
good get for them. Their defense is good enough. They don't need somebody like that. So,
Let me see prospects.
Thank you, Ron.
yeah. So
Jaguars
the
on the clock.
Jaguars on the clock, and the Jaguars. Looking at this draft tracker, you're probably seeing the same thing here, Jamie. Where it says like their pick was like Cleveland originally traded it with Houston, who traded it with Minnesota.
Oh,
who then
that's
traded it
why.
with Jacksonville. It's
I
like,
forget. Yeah.
Wow, yeah. Okay,
Yes.
there goes Quinion
Yes.
Mitchell.
Yes. And Ron
prospects
says it's on
there.
social media. And I'm not
Cleveland
looking
to
at.
Houston to Minnesota to Jackson. That's
it's a
Yeah.
lot.
quite the journey for that pick.
Journey is the right word. Quite the journey.
Oh my god, that's the one with the most trades. That's crazy.
But that
Okay.
pick found a home, and isn't that beautiful?
Oh, geez.
Finally.
Wow. Let's see here. So we got the Jaguars, the Cowboys, and then us. So
Okay.
might as well stay on until it happens, right?
Who's
Right?
the
And then we
hot?
can.
Who's the hot guy that everybody wants? Talk to me.
I mean, a lot of Packers online is really hoping for Cooper DeJean,
Okay.
and surprisingly, he's still out there. So that could actually happen. But there are still some really good tackles who I think people would be happy with. With Tyler Guyton still out there, for example. But I think if Cooper DeJean fell all the way to us, which originally was being mocked to us a lot, but then more recently he was kind of like rising up the mock draft boards, the consensus draft boards, and now he's still there. So it could happen. I'd be really excited about him because he could play corner or safety. His measurables were amazing at his pro day and the combine when he did his testing. Very exciting. Ron can confirm here more concisely than I said. They want Cooper DeJean. Exactly.
Jean DeJean. What does he do? What is he?
And Joe's saying that
he is a cornerback.
like he loves Cooper, but if Terrion Arnold is on the board, there's no way they can pass him up. He is an amazing cornerback. So we'll see.
Okay. From Alabama. They're fast. Are they fast?
They're fast. They're awesome. So yeah, Jaguars pick is in. What's it gonna be? Oh, the drama. Just tell us.
Dallas is on the clock. It's almost our turn.
I know. I'm so excited. Just hate
It's
the
always
waiting.
like, oh yeah, it's kind of boring. It's not that boring because I kind of when I do my research before and I'm like, oh, that's cool that guy went to that team or whatever. Because I'm happy for the guys that get drafted.
Yeah.
I kind of get attached to some of them. So I'm totally detached. It's their emotions until the Packers come on. Then I'm like,
That's kind of fun though.
yeah.
Yeah, it totally is.
It's less stress.
Yeah.
And I'll be less
Yeah.
disappointed. Like if I don't get like whoever I wanted, that's fine. Because I'm like, ooh, who's this guy? I get to go study him.
Well, it might be. We might get
Mhm.
Cooper DeJean.
Could happen.
And they're pronouncing it DeJean, but is it
DeJean,
DeJean?
I don't know. I think it might be DeJean.
I know that I think it was Tyler Brook, but maybe Tex Western found out for sure how it was and said it on the podcast. And now I don't remember which one it was. So
okay, because it seems more like DeJean to me.
I think it's one that it's definitely not. I think it's either, so Joe's saying it's DeJean, but unless I'm reading it as DeJean or DeJean. Yeah.
Because if you're going to do the soft J, the J, then you would do the Jean. Not the Jean.
It must be DeJean.
Could be Jean.
So Jean, it's either Jean with a hard J or Jean with a soft J. You can't mix the hard J.
Oh, you can do what you want to. I don't know. It's America. It's America.
Yeah, that's true. It's whatever he wants.
I'm going to open 2 windows so I could look at the prospects.
There you go. And here I was supposed to be looking at the beast and like, I'm just sleeping on the job here.
So I just have to answer a text real fast here.
I'm kind of doing what Jamie's doing, just like letting it just surprise me. Tomorrow will be all analytics.
Right.
For sure.
Tomorrow I start binging everyone's content.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
It kicks into like full on fire hose mode.
I need to know everything about this guy.
Right. So tonight's just more party night. And Brendan says DB Cooper is also pretty elusive as a punt returner.
Oh, I love a versatile guy.
We like that. That with Keshawn.
And that's always like the Packers go to. They like versatility and like their guys.
Oh yeah,
like,
multiples for sure.
Multiple things, yeah, for sure. That's
for sure.
Yes, they do like the versatility. They like the guys who can do the stuff, do more than one thing. Definitely.
It's a good thing.
Oh, okay. So it looks like the Jaguars got Brian Thomas Jr. Is that right? You seeing that?
Let me see. Whoops. Are you looking on the app?
It's like, where did I just see that?
Yes.
A Shepherd notification or something.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Ooh, he's good.
Wide receiver from LSU. Nice.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. So Cowboys than us.
Cowboys than us.
Some amazing players still out there. Like I think some that we never thought would fall. So
Cowboys.
Yeah.
What they need. Oh, who's what's his face? What's his name? Dak's still there?
Okay. Dak's still there. Yep.
Oh yeah. They finally did something like it's like they died after we beat them, and then they finally came out and said something like a week ago.
Yeah,
they were dead.
Free agency. They just
they were gone.
We knocked them off.
They were still recovering. They were still grieving.
Yeah.
That's terrible. I mean, we were grieving too. We got beat too,
but not before beating them. And that's nice. I like that.
Didn't get destroyed. We kept it close.
That was such a bludgeoning. I mean, that was so good. I mean,
what a fun game. Oh man.
At least when we got beat, it was we shouldn't have gotten beat by the 49ers, but whatever.
Beat ourselves in the end is what it was, Yeah. Ultimately.
Yeah.
Hate to see it, but
so are you guys holding the Packers to a higher standard coming into this?
I was holding them to that standard last year. I think I was alone in doing that, but
standard's one thing, but the expectations are a different thing. I mean, we're always going to hold them to high standard, but the thing that was so fun about last season, one of the things that was so fun about last season was just the low expectations, and then they went way, way beyond what we thought they did. And now it's like, I have higher expectations than last season. Don, I think I cut you off though. I'm sorry about that. What were you saying?
I don't remember.
Oh, sorry.
I started playing with the cat. She jumped up here and I don't remember.
Well, suffice to say,
Not
yeah,
important.
definitely higher expectations coming into the season now, especially even how they looked in the last part of last season. How about you, Jamie? Kind of the same, or?
Yeah, I do have a little bit
Yeah.
higher expectation, but not like too harsh. You know, in the beginning, maybe like towards the middle of the season, that's when I like, okay, if we don't clean it up, but it does kind of we look so rough in the beginning and then we cleaned it up towards the end. I see them maybe having a slow start, or maybe they go really strong and then they fall back, but then they get it together. I don't know, honestly. It
Yeah.
could be anything. They're such a new
It
team.
could,
It's just
right.
you
It
just
could
don't
be
know.
anything.
Mhm.
The problem with
They're a
having
wild card.
expectations
hmm
is, I don't know. It was so fun last year because our expectations were just kind of like I wouldn't say I didn't. I had high expectations, but I was willing to accept anything
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
and I always
it
want
was
them
so
to
fun.
win, of course. Yeah.
Right. So yeah,
We were just riding the vibes last season, and the vibes were immaculate for most of the season.
it was so fun. Yeah, and I think it's gonna have. I think this year, for me personally, and for just
I'm looking
kind
at
of
the defense. That's what I'm really looking at for sure.
the what.
The defense. That's who I'm going to be looking at.
Yeah, but I just think overall the fun vibes of the team are going to be
Oh
the
yeah.
same. They're going to be
Yeah.
the same, and that's what I ride off of. I
That
kind of
locker
ride
room
off
is
of
so
that.
fun. It's
Yeah,
so young and exciting. Yeah. I
it
think
was
that they
so
all have
much.
really good chemistry. They get along. They love each other. They like hanging out with each other. They
Mhm.
hang out outside. Like the fact that they hang out outside with each other, that's a good sign for me.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Lafleur got to be Lafleur. Lafleur got to actually coach
Yeah.
for one. Yeah,
Yeah. He got all
Wow.
the scrutiny whenever it was going the wrong time.
that was so fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
He looked like he was also less stressed. I mean, yeah. He was just more
Mhm.
free, I think.
yeah, he was just wanted to win.
hmm
Yeah. So, are you going to be on Joe's show tomorrow, Maddie?
Oh, I don't know what times he needs people for. Joe, send me a message over on Twitter if you don't mind to let me know what times you need people. I'll let you know when I'm available. I'll try to. I'll make some time for you, man. I'll make some time for you for sure. I'll say now, yes. Let me know
I
what
was
times you
going to
need
ask
people.
you that. I was going
Yeah,
to ask if you're going to be on Joe's show.
yeah.
Yeah.
It would be an honor, of course.
Mhm.
I'd love to. So yeah, Joe, hit me with some times, and we'll figure it out. Definitely. Of course, now
Yeah.
that we're waiting for the Packers to have their pick, it's taking forever now. It seems like it's interminable.
It is. And Iowa Joe's going to have a show tomorrow for the second night of the draft pick, which should be fun over at on YouTube Live, right, Joe? Yeah. And what is his channel, Maddie? Joe's channel.
Ohana
On
Packers edition.
It's the same on YouTube.
On YouTube. Okay, yes. I don't know for sure. I assume so, but I'm sure he'll tell us.
Okay.
We're on the clock.
Well, who did the Cowboys take?
Oh,
showing up for me.
they traded their pick to the Lions. Now we have to wait longer because the Lions have to pick someone.
Oh.
That's so annoying.
Oh, does it? I know. I'm like, ew. It didn't show that for me. It doesn't show when they trade. It's annoying. That's really annoying. That because those are the that's the team in the NFC North. I feel like that's what we're gonna have to worry about.
Yeah.
Really is the Lions. They look pretty strong. Okay, here it goes. It updated for me now. Detroit's in.
Well, so surprised the pick is in already from the Lions because they jumped with for a reason, so they knew who they're going to take.
They probably they're like, we want that guy. See, that's why it takes long. I think that they're like leveraging and calling like, hey, I'm going to pick this guy. Do you want him?
Yeah.
What did you give me for him?
Exactly.
By the way,
I wish I was in that room, like just hearing those conversations. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, sorry. I interrupted you. I was listening to the Athletic Football Show before I got on, and they said that the Chargers actually showed their big board for a bit for a little bit there.
Whoops.
Oh no! It was an accident.
I know. Can you imagine? It's like all the people, like zooming in and taking screenshots and stuff.
Yeah, they'll be on Twitter tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Well, more importantly, what did they learn tonight?
Right. They're gonna
Oh,
have to
the Lions
speak
took
up.
Terry Arnold.
What happened?
They took Arnold, exactly what Ron just said there.
Who did they get?
They took the
Taryn
cornerback, Terry Arnold. Which good pickup.
Tyrion.
But now we could.
Who did they give up for that? What did they give up?
Yeah, they haven't said. Oh, here it is. They gave up they gave up a third round. Oh, and wait, a seventh round. There's a third round and seventh round thing too, but the seventh round kind of whatever. So they gave up a third round to get up to leapfrog us. Basically,
that's right. We have Josh Jacobs.
I'm having a hard time breathing. I'm so excited. Like,
because we're actually on the clock. Oh, boy.
Packers are on the clock. Come on.
Okay,
Pack.
so who do we want again? What's the other guy that's left?
Everything.
So it could be Cooper DeJean.
Cornerback.
It could be Tyler Guyton.
Arnold.
Somebody or somebody we've never even heard of. I feel like that last year I was like,
It's
oh,
always somebody we've never heard
LVN.
of.
Okay, I hadn't. Okay, seems good. I guess. I was caught off guard
I'm
last
not
year.
going to be mad because I'm pretty okay with Goot's picks.
Exactly. I was saying that earlier.
Yeah.
Like I trust him.
Me too.
Matt's not wearing a suit tonight, LaFleur. He's wearing.
I don't remember
What's
a
he
suit.
wearing?
He's wearing some Packers gear, like a hoodie, like jacket type thing. Let me see. Is it Packers gear? Hold on. It looks like a windbreaker. It doesn't even look like Packers gear. Oh yeah, it's got a G on it. Never mind.
Wait, where are you
like,
seeing
that? On Green Bay Packers Twitter.
Oh, okay.
A glimpse into the draft room.
Oh, nice.
A look into the draft room. Usually he wears a suit. Matt LaFleur. He's full on embracing the coach. What I liked about what he said about the combine, a lot of the head coaches will go to the combine. And he's like, nah, I'm better off working here, doing my thing and letting, the division of labor thing, I think is very healthy. He trusts Scoot and he just wants to be a coach. And I love that. And he can be. Yeah.
Go for it.
And I think that we're not wearing a suit tonight kind of embraces that kind of vibe.
Right. Yeah. He's like, I'm chilling.
Yeah. I'm not chilling, but I'm a coach, I'm not an executive. I mean, head coach does have executive responsibilities.
He trusts him. He's like, okay, you do your thing, Goody. Okay. On the clock. They're talking it over. They're probably negotiating, see if anybody wants something.
Yeah, if they trade it back, I wouldn't be super surprised because that's kind of super Gutekunst's kind of move.
True that because they've been on for 3 minutes now, so that's a possibility. In which case, this podcast will have to end.
Yeah, if they trade back, okay, all right, good night. They're only just now finally about to formally announce the Lions pick, even though it was kind of leaked like 5 minutes ago. So
yeah,
that's the thing.
That's why I'm looking. That's why I'm like on Twitter. I've given up. Andrew Murtig, JJ McCarthy. What?
There it is, and it is official.
Okay.
That's funny. Like on the spot that I'm in the broadcast of the draft, he's still talking, and he hasn't said Terry Arnold yet. But like Schefter and Rappaport have both already posted it. Like, just say it. Just say it. Just say that.
Well, 10 minutes ago, Andrew Murtig posted Terry and Arnold is my number 6 overall prospects. If the Packers pass on him, I will be devastated. Packers will not pass on him. They don't have a choice. What?
The pick is in.
Oh, the Packers pick is in. Good job, man. You got to pick this up. because we get to find out.
Dead silence.
I know.
Silence. Did we wait up last year, Maddie, for the pick? I can't remember.
Don't remember. I don't remember. I mean, because we were picking later last year.
Later than this?
No, we weren't. We were picking earlier. I take that back.
Earlier, I would think.
It was a rough year. Rogers last year was a rough one.
Only like 14 or something in the teens.
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly who took LVN.
Yeah, it was earlier on in our podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for those of you podcasters, I can cut this part out too, but then we don't have Jamie. But then we don't have Jamie.
No,
so.
that's the thing. If people who want to listen this long on Saturday morning when it drops, they can do that. And if you're like, okay, I mean, I already know what the Packers took, you guys. There's no drama here. I get it.
Yes. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Too much Benadryl.
That's right. We did get Xavier. Okay.
What are we gonna get?
So I'm like trying to get too excited because I really do hope it's Cooper DeJean.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It should be. I mean, it should.
I'm hoping, but I don't want to get too excited, like too, because if it's not him, I don't want to get all like let down.
If they don't get a cornerback, are they going for a lineman?
I would say definitely. I think so, but what do I know, Jamie? What do any of us know?
I don't know anything.
We're all just guessing. Because you know how Packers, they go for the best athlete at that point, usually.
Yeah.
Usually. Yeah. So It could be, right. This is different because we definitely are making a run for the Super Bowl. Our team is.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different, I think, this year.
I mean, is it like Super Bowl or bust? Super Bowl run or like Super Bowl, but it's okay if we don't make it.
Oh, not bust. No,
yeah,
bust.
Not bust. The team's not. It's not like this is our last year in this window with like these people, like the offense being so young.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't say that. Yeah.
Right. No,
I think they're gonna do everything they can to get there. But so Albert Breer, who got it wrong a couple times last year, I was watching him really closely, is saying OT Jordan Morgan is gonna be the pick, but we'll see if that's accurate.
Who?
Exactly.
What?
Jordan Morgan might be the pick. We'll see.
Okay, let me look. Let me look at this guy.
Wait, somebody already leaked it?
Well, Albert Breer tends to like.
Yeah, he would know.
Before anybody else. And there were a couple times last year I remember that he was wrong, so I stopped like paying attention. So it might be Jordan Morgan. We'll see.
Where is he, Joe? I'm looking for him on the Beast.
Offensive tackle.
And Ron's saying it's Jordan Morgan.
Jordan Morgan? Do we even know who that is?
It is Jordan. It's the offensive tackle.
I'm looking.
Not surprised. I mean, if it didn't go for like.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in. Okay, that makes sense.
Well, what are you seeing, Don?
He's a guard, number 2, under guards on the Beast.
Okay.
From Arizona. Let me get his specifics. Hold on one sec. Okay, background. Jordan Morgan, one of the 3 children of brother and sister, was born and raised in the Tucson area. Okay, so he's a guard, 311 pounds. A guard is good. From Arizona, 22 years old. He was number 77. Okay, kid, blah, blah, blah. 3-star recruit. Morgan was the number 138 offensive tackle in 2019 recruiting class and number 30 recruit in Arizona with his late growth spurt. He had a late growth spurt. He wasn't well known, kind of like Jordan Love, well known in the recruiting trail until he attended a camp in northern Arizona the summer before his senior year. The FCS host school was the first to offer Morgan extended offers during his senior year. Morgan came close to flipping to the Trojans, but he wanted to stay home, blah, blah, blah. 5th season, random fact, he loves horror movies. Oh, Dusty will love him.
Yep,
he has a tattoo of Freddy Krueger Michael Myers, and Pennywise.
See, there goes that versatility. He plays tackle and guard.
Yep, left tackle, left tackle, left tackle, then guard. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay,
I
no
like
shuttle
it.
cone
I like
skills.
it.
Natural knee bender, stays balanced in his pass sets. NFL quality feet, body control, size and length, fast eyes to comfortably pass off and pick up rushers. Yay. So take that, Vikings, with your new rusher. Has the strength in his hands to turn and seal the edge defenders, able to leverage his body as a drive blocker and when combating bull rushers, trusted by the coaching staff and doesn't receive much help on the left side. Well regarded as a leader. Well regarded as a leader in the program, was named 2023 captain. Blah, blah, blah. He's got some weaknesses. We're not going to talk about those tonight. 4-year starter at Arizona. So there we go. I was not hearing a lot about him. Were you guys?
That was one that Andy was saying that if they trade back, that might be one of their targets. So the fact that they stuck and took him is interesting. It's kind of funny because looking at, like, depending which draft guide you look at, he's listed as either an OT or an interior offensive lineman. Like the Cheesehead TV draft guide has him listed as a tackle and has him as their number 7 tackle. And the Green Bay draft guide, powered by Packer Report, has him as an interior offensive line and has him as their number 4. But behind some guys who weren't even actually drafted yet, so it's interesting. They have him as a 2nd round grade, in fact.
Listen, as long as they stay healthy.
And so, what number is he on Dave Brugler's?
Beast had him as 1st or 2nd round, number 29 overall, and he was the number 2 for guards. So
the summary here on the draft says on the broadcast says smooth mover, redirects easily, struggles versus power, which is a funny set of things to describe a person. Smooth mover, smooth moves, boys.
He's a smooth operator. Okay, Kuiper had mocked him to the Packers early. Okay,
Kuiper,
bring it, Brandon. All right, we have our pick.
There it is, guys. All right.
We got to tackle.
No, what happened?
I'm happy with that. We need to protect our quarterback. We need to protect our quarterback. We don't have Bakhtiari anymore. Yep.
Yeah, we need to get
our boy.
I'm happy.
All right.
Okay. Well, any final thoughts before we log off? Jamie, you've got the floor. So good to see you again.
I miss you guys so much, Matt, especially you, because I do see and talk to Don often.
But I'm old hat.
I've been kind of MIA because I've been just consumed with things. But I miss you guys very much. I miss Twitter very much. I'm excited for this season. I can't wait. I really hope that we have a much more aggressive defense. I like what we got, and I trust Goody. I trust Goody. So I'm honestly just chilling. I can't wait to study these guys.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's like Christmas. You get these presents, you unwrap them, you get to learn more about them. It's very exciting. No final thoughts for me because I think Jamie, you nailed it. So everything you said, basically. Don, anything before I bring it home?
Just the final shout out, because we didn't get to shout out Mona. She says, hey, happy Packers peeps. Just stop by to say hi and hope you get the best players. Thank you, Mona. You're the best. Oh my gosh. That's so sweet.
So post something tonight because I already want to read on this guy.
You will? Yeah. I know. It's addicting. It gets stay focused. I'm glad you got to get your appointment in, Jamie, and that you were able to join us and it didn't feel stressful to you or any pressure. You always have a place here. It's a home.
I feel so much better. I needed this. So
thank
you so much for letting me be here.
Anytime.
Yay.
So happy to see you. So happy to have you. So
perfect. It turned out perfect. All right. That's my final thought. Love you, Jamie. Thanks for letting me be your glamour. Give Mooney a kiss from me.
Sleeping up there.
It's awesome. Tash is waiting for me. She got a new laser toy.
Oh, fun.
So I know both of them went out at once. So the last 2 nights have been murder because
Oh,
tonight we have a routine. And it's like, what, Mom? And she's meowing at me. And so, yeah, just arrived. FedEx just got here a couple hours ago. So that's great.
nice.
Nice to see you as always, Maddie. I missed you
Yeah,
last
missed you
week.
too.
So,
I know, right?
yeah.
All right. Well, Jamie, love you. So happy to see you, and everyone loves you. You're very much beloved.
I miss
Very,
everybody.
very glad you could be here. So, friends, we'd love to have a chance to interview you and shout you out if you're a subscriber and a football fan. If you'd like to nominate someone to be a guest on our podcast, please let us know. Our DMs are open on all the social platforms. And folks, when you subscribe to our podcast, you help us to keep spreading the love in our community. And the best way to help this podcast grow is by sharing it with your friends and family.
Yes, Maddie, that's right, because we love you. We're so glad to know you, to be fans of you, and to have the luxury of being fans of the most storied team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate your support, your subscriptions, and sharing our pod, and we look forward to seeing you next week on.
Hey, we like your pod.
Football in general comes down to discipline and people owning their roles. And when you aren't disciplined or you go outside the scheme, bad stuff happens.